Howdy! This is your official host, JB Eagle, speaking. I'm inside a Toys R Us store. Now, I used to play with toys when I was young, but not anymore. Speaking of toys, I'm going to review Toy Story. Is this a favorite movie for toddlers and young children? Let's find out.
Just some roughed up desperados, hanging tough through thick and thin, kicking up dust wherever we go. I can see that you and me are gonna be friends.
The story. Let me tell all you boys and girls of all ages the story of this movie. Woody, a good-hearted cowboy doll who belongs to a young boy named Andy, sees his position as Andy's favorite toy jeopardized when his mother buys him a Buzz Lightyear action figure. Even worse, the arrogant Buzz thinks he's a real spaceman on a mission to return to his home planet. When Andy's family moves to a new house, Woody and Buzz must escape the clutches of maladjusted neighbor Sid Phillips and reunite with their boy. Do I like this film? Yes, I do. It shows what toys do when there are no humans present. The animation. I'm so excited to discuss the animation with all of you. Are you excited? Let's get started. In Andy's bedroom, you'll notice that there are books on the bookshelf with the following titles: Tin Toy, Knick Knack, Red's Dream, and Luxo Jr. These titles are the names of the animated short films that Pixar made in the 1980s. When Woody is sitting on the bed talking with Slinky, there is a drawing of him on the wall behind them. This is actually an early sketch of the Woody character. The animation team perfected the movement of the toy soldiers by nailing a pair of sneakers to a sheet of wood and trying to walk around with them on. When Sarge looks through his binoculars, spying on the party guests when he and the other army men investigate the birthday party, you'll notice that Andy's friends are actually the same character model of Andy, just with different skin tones and different clothes and accessories. Buzz Lightyear's colors are purple, green, and white. This was because John Lasseter's favorite color is green, his wife's favorite color is purple, and the character was based on the white suits astronauts used to wear in the Apollo missions. Buzz Lightyear's facial features are loosely based on those of the film's John Lasseter, most notably his eyebrows, cheekbones, and the dimple in his chin. Lasseter demonstrated this by sketching a rough self-portrait on the UK breakfast show The Big Breakfast, and then adding the spacesuit helmet to transform himself into Buzz. Andy's lamp is a red version of the lamp that first appeared and the ball that bounces down the hall just before the party, up and down from the hand of a guest, then is bounced off by Buzz, is the ball that first appeared in Luxo Jr. Both have since become Pixar trademarks. When Buzz is lying on the skateboard while repairing his ship, there are stacked blocks that read B and Z for BZ Petrov, the movie's animation and layout manager. When Andy and his mom are going to Pizza Planet, they stop at Dinoco for gas. Dinoco is also the company which Lightning McQueen is obsessed to work with in the movie Cars from 2006, which is also made by Pixar. On the back of the Pizza Planet truck, there is a sticker that reads Crat FM. This is a reference to Pixar employee Tia W. Crater, an artist on the film. Hannah serves Buzz tea from a Utah teapot, a famous data model seen in countless computer animations. The moving company, Eggman Movers, is named after art director Ralph Eggleston. The license plate of the truck, MLY1K9, meaning Molly 1K9, is a reference to Pixar's resident sheepdog. The filmmakers have indicated in interviews that the moving van chase sequence at the end of the film was partially inspired by the train chase scene from The Wrong Trousers in 1993. The Pixar animators considered the toy train sequence to have set a standard for action which they had to surpass in this full-length computer-animated film. Some 3D effects were too complex or even impossible to calculate at the time of this film. Subtle tricks are used to avoid them. Examples: explosions. Thus the viewer doesn't see Combat Carl's demise. Hair dynamics, so Andy, Sid, and Molly all have short hair while Andy's mother's hair is always tied back in a simple-to-model ponytail. And flying water droplets. Thus the viewer doesn't see any liquid when Woody dumps his burning head into a bowl of cereal. When the film was re-released on DVD, it was found that almost 20% of the original animation files were corrupted, proving to the studio that digital storage was not as feasible as they thought it would be at the time the film was made. This is the first animated film to receive a Special Achievement Academy Award. It was given to John Lasseter for the development and inspired application of techniques that have made possible the first feature-length computer-animated film. More than 50 years earlier, Walt Disney received an honorary Oscar for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This was the first animated film in Oscar history to be nominated for a Best Screenplay Academy Award, adapted or original. The characters. Oh boy, I've been waiting to talk about the characters with all you boys and girls, so let's get it on. Woody is a loyal cowboy doll who has been Andy's favorite toy since kindergarten. After Andy receives Buzz for a birthday present, he becomes his new favorite toy, making Woody feel unwanted and jealous. Then we have Buzz Lightyear, who is a spaceman action figure. He replaced Woody as Andy's favorite toy after Andy receives him for a birthday present. At first he claims that he is a real space ranger wanting to return to his home planet, but after learning from a TV commercial that he is a toy, he becomes depressed. Sid Phillips is Andy's next-door neighbor who tortures toys for fun. He also destroys them in many ways, like exploding, burning, or his Mad Doctor plays. After the toys come to life in front of him, he learns his lesson. He is said to be inspired by a former Pixar employee of the same last name who was known to disassemble toys and use the parts to build bizarre creations. Originally, the main character was going to be Tinny, the title character in the 1988 short film Tin Toy. He would have gotten lost during a family trip and joined up with a sarcastic ventriloquist dummy in a search for a home. Eventually, Tinny was replaced with a toy astronaut named Lunar Larry, which then became Buzz Lightyear. The dummy, meanwhile, was given the identity of a cowboy, eventually becoming Woody. Jeffrey Katzenberg often gave notes that he wanted more edge. Pixar presented an early draft of the film to Disney on November 19, 1993. The result was disastrous. The film was deemed unwatchable, and John Lasseter recalls simply hanging his head in shame. It presented Woody as a sarcastic jerk who was constantly insulting the other toys. Katzenberg took Walt Disney Feature Animation president Peter Schneider in the hall after the screening and asked him why it was bad. Schneider responded that it wasn't theirs anymore. Disney immediately shut down production pending a new script. The story team spent a week on a new script to make Woody a more likable character instead of the sarcastic jerk he had been. Woody was originally conceived as a ventriloquist's doll. Woody and Buzz Lightyear are inspired by John Lasseter's own childhood toys. He based Woody on his own pull-string Casper doll, and once he grew out of Casper, he moved on to G.I. Joe, a flashy toy at the time of his childhood. Buzz Lightyear's name was inspired by Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon, and the term light year, which means the amount of distance a beam of light travels in 1 year. Wheezy the Penguin was originally going to be in this film, but was cut during the first draft of the script. He was later brought back in Toy Story 2. Joss Whedon reportedly created the character Rex the dinosaur. The character of Andy is named for Andries Andy Van Dam, a Brown University professor and computer science and animation pioneer who taught many of the makers of this film. The presence of Bo Peep in Toy Story is a reference to the fairy tale The Shepherdess and the Sweep from 1849 by Danish author Hans Christian Andersen. His story was also about toys in a children's room coming to life when no one is looking. This is one of my favorite animated movies. Here are comments I'm leaving for you all. Before the film was released, there was an Australian television series about toys in a boy's bedroom that come alive when the boy has left the room. That series was Johnson and Friends, which had no human characters. What attracted Tom Hanks to the role of Woody was the fact that during his childhood, he would always wonder if his toys were alive and moved around when nobody was in the room. What attracted Tim Allen to the role of Buzz Lightyear was the fact that before him, they offered the role to his biggest influence in his career, Chevy Chase, who turned it down. Billy Crystal had also declined the role. Ham's voice actor, John Ratzenberger, later would go on to voice a character in every Pixar film since, becoming Pixar's good luck charm / a Pixar legend, with Pixar being the only animation studio to have a voice actor in every movie of theirs. The first Pixar movies starring Joe Ranft, who'd go on to voice a character in all Pixar films before his death in 2005. When the Pizza Planet delivery boy enters the Dinoco gas station, he asks for directions to West Cutting Boulevard. West Cutting Boulevard is the street where Pixar Animation Studios was located in Richmond, California at the time. In April 2008, Toy Story made its debut as a live-action musical on Disney Cruise Line's The Disney Wonder. The musical contains 7 songs, 6 of which are original, and Randy Newman's You've Got a Friend in Me. This was the highest-grossing movie of 1995. It is also the world's first computer-animated feature film and Pixar's first feature film. That is all I have for you. Now, I should be heading home for dinner, so I'll see you all next time, okay? Farewell, my friends.
Just some roughed up desperados, hanging tough through thick and thin, kicking up dust wherever we go. I can see that you and me are gonna be friends. To the end, you and me are gonna be friends. I can see that you and me are gonna be friends.